What if I told you that reincarnation is real and that there is a metaphysical, spiritual science behind this? Most people leave this world just as lost when they entered it, that they carry their fears, attachments, and addictions with them, only to be born again, trapped in the same cycle, repeating the patterns of lifetime after lifetime. This lecture is not just about preparing for death. It's about mastering yourself before death so you don't take them burdens with you. Because the truth is, whatever addictions, fears, and unresolved emotions you cling to in this life, you carry with you into the next. Unless you break free now, you must master yourself before death. Death is not the end, it is the great passage. But how we transition depends on our mastery of the self. This was symbolized by the Ouroboros, the snake biting its tail. Every ending is a new beginning. It's an infinite cycle of consciousness. Now, your human body is basically an antenna tapped in to a stream of consciousness. Just like a radio is tapped into a specific frequency to play that radio. Your body is basically an antenna, a crystal picking up the consciousness of God. You are on an ever ending journey, a journey of learning and expansion of the mind into new fields of thought. This was symbolized as the Ouroboros. When you die, it is a new beginning. It's a transitioning, not an ending. Everything is eternal in this universe as consciousness is formless and constantly transforms into new forms of life. Let's break down the word death. Death contains the word ether. Now, the ether can be found in the word heart or earth. Ether. Everything in this plane comes from the etheric plane. The etheric plane is the barrier between the physical plane and the spiritual plane, the astral plane. The astral plane is the screen that you have in your mind that allows you to imagine a red apple, for example. This is the imaginative plane where thought forms start to take form. Everything begins as a thought, then the thought form becomes an imagination, then energy, then physical. Everything in the physical plane is a shadow of thought, all objects manifested as thought. You came from the astral. You came from the stars. This is why we say reach for the stars. Or this is why you say you are a star. Cis star, miss star, fraud star, stir is star. And when you become famous, you become a superstar and you gain a star on the Hollywood floor. You are a star. The ether. The ether is the infinite energy source which all things come out of and return back to. This is the cycle of life and death, summer and winter, day and night, sleep and awake. The ether is the infinite energy source which all things come from and will return back to. Okay, sorry about that little error. The ether is the boundless source of energy from which all things emerge, to which all things return to. We can see this in the cycle of the sun. The sun does this wave of creation. It rises and it falls. We have the day and the night. The daytime represents our conscious mind when we are alert. The nighttime represents our subconscious mind when we are inside the spiritual realms. The nighttime is spirit, the daytime is matter, spirit and matter, awake and asleep, conscious and subconscious. We see this in the yearly cycle. Summer is life, winter is death. Spring is the morning, summer is midday, autumn is evening, winter is the night. Everything is a macro and a micro cycle of being born out of the ether and returning back from life and death. Life and death is manifested within the cycles of the sun and everything outside of you, as within, so without. This is why we say sleep is the cousin of death. The macrocosm is death, the microcosm is sleep. Every time you go to sleep, you are essentially it's a miniature death. You're entering into spirit and then returning back into matter in the morning. when the sun rises. Everything is a reflection of the macrocosm cycles. Preparation for death. The first thing we must do in order to prepare for death, for life after death, in order to stop being reincarnated in this cycle of materialism, in order to progress as a soul, because remember, you are a soul in a body. Just like the sun gives power and life to the earth, your soul gives power and life to your body. When you say I, you're referring to the soul. And your soul can be stuck underneath layers of false identifications. Who you believe yourself to be is merely a collection of subconscious programs running within your mind. Now, that's very deep. That is very, very deep. Who you think you are is a part of your thinking mind. Your name, your job, your reputation, your family, your friends, these things are not you. They're all aspects of the thinking mind. What happens if you meditate and you turn off the mind? Then all these things do not exist. You're left with the pure soul, the pure awareness, the pure observation. If you turn off the thinking mind, you're no longer your body, you're no longer your reputation, you're no longer your friends, you're no longer your job and your labels. You are the soul. That's the true you, the observation of the mind, not the thinking mind. The ego is the echo. It's an echo of your true self. The ego is your mind's perception of itself, shaped by experiences, trauma, emotions, and beliefs. It is merely an echo of your true soul self. The ego is not you. Your mind is not you. You are the soul. And this is the true self that we must express within our life and we must connect with before we die. Because when we die under the echo, under these false layers of the emotions, the traumas, the experiences, the addictions, the emotional attachments, when we die underneath all of this, when we don't know our true self, the soul is still hidden. The true you is hidden underneath these layers of false identification. We must remove these layers of false identifications. We must remove them. We must destroy the echo. Remember, the ego, you never had an ego when you were a child. When you were a child, you were pure. You didn't, you didn't show off things. When you were a child, you were pure. You expressed yourself freely with you didn't hide anything. You didn't hide any aspect of yourself. You didn't suppress any aspect of yourself to fit in as a child, as a baby. Because the ego was not here when you came here. The ego grows with experience. The ego is a false perception of yourself while being incarnated in this material world. It's your mind's perception of itself and it's created through your experience. Remember, you are unconditioned consciousness, and your experiences, thoughts, traumas, emotions, and beliefs have conditioned your consciousness into believing you're only a physical body, but you are the soul. We have to remove these layers. How do we remove these layers? Like I said, the best thing, meditation. Meditation. There is a great meditation that you can do every single morning and every single night time. You can sit there and repeat over and over before you meditate. You can repeat that you are not this, you are not that, you are not this. You can label them one by one. Start with I am not my body, I am not my job, I am not my name, and then detach from absolutely everything until you are left with nothingness. And when you start to meditate, detach from everything. Nothing matters. I am here right now. And what will be left? The only thing that will be left is the language that your mind is using. Now, this is very deep. Not many people will tell you this, but I've lingered in meditation many times. And I can tell you from experience, that the only thing left once you detach from everything is the language that your mind is attached to. So whether that's English, Italian, French. Once you detach the language of the mind that that little voice in your head's using, you're left with the soul. Once the mind is switched off, you're left with the soul, and you have detached from all of these external things. You're left with the soul. That's you. That's the power. That's the source of all creation, where everything you've ever done has come from. Every thought, every idea has come from your soul. Number two, that's meant to say number two. Sorry about that. Mental addictions and emotional addictions. Okay. These two are very important. Mental addictions, this could be thought patterns, this could be the labels that we've just been talking about. Then you have emotional attachments, which is maybe you're too attached to an external thing. Maybe you're too attached to your phone. Maybe you're too attached to family. Maybe you're too attached to loved ones. Yes, I'm not saying don't love them, but what I'm saying is do not rely on anything in this world to make you happy, to fulfill your emotional needs. Everything is found within you. You must look within, and if you're looking without, if you're trying to find yourself in the outer world, you'll never find yourself. You'll constantly be looking around in loops, because nothing, you cannot find yourself in the outer world. Nothing will long term give you long term validation. Seeking validation in the outer world will leave you soulless, leave you feeling empty inside and sad and depressed. You have to find yourself within. You have to detach from everything you are relying on to give you emotional stableness. You have to detach from all. Yes, love your children. Yes, love these people, but do not rely on them. Because everything in this world is temporary. Do not conform to this world. The Bible tells you this. Everything in modern society nurtures the body, but neglects the soul. They keep you addicted to as many things as possible. Smoking, you have to detach. Drugs, you have to detach. Alcohol, detach. You cannot rely on anything. This is why this path is very, very difficult to walk. But I'm showing you the way. These are the things you must do before death. You have to detach from absolutely everything. If you die and your mind and soul is still addicted to these worldly things, then you guess what? You're going to reincarnate. You're going to reincarnate because your mind is still thinking about these material earthly things. And if you are operating in that vibration, you're going to project that vibration and come back here. You have to detach. You have to master the soul and master the mind. Like I said, the matrix is designed to keep you addicted to as many things as possible. Your phone, food, smoking, drugs, alcohol, clubbing, all of these things. Everything in society is made to trap your soul and reincarnate in this world. That's why it's very, very, very difficult to walk this path. Very difficult. Matrix, matter tricks. John 2:15 to 17. Do not love this world, nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you will lose God. Do not love this world, nor the things it offers you. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Great quote. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed. Let this world transform you. Learn from this, expand from this, but do not be mentally and emotionally attached. Okay? What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Like I said, everything in the Bible is telling you the truth. You just got to read it correctly. This is spirituality. This is spirituality. The Bible is spiritual. It's a spiritual text. We must disconnect from everything outside of us and connect with the true soul. Here we have the Egyptians showing you the soul leaving the body. Here we have the soul here. Here we have the Masons showing you the soul coming out. The soul is real. You are the soul. And when you leave this physical plane, you will go into the astral plane. That's where you came from. You came from the astral. You came from the stars. You incarnated into this physical body. Your consciousness fell into this material form to experience limitation, to experience a 3D world. So, in order to ascend properly before we die, we have to let go of all the attachments. Every addiction you have, write them down. And one by one, tackle them. Before you die, you have to, or else you will reincarnate. This is the teachings of Egyptians. This is the teachings of Masonry. All of these addictions contribute towards life after death. Everything must be controlled, and we must be attached to the soul. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, people. We're all not perfect. We're all under psychological operation by the government. We're all in a very difficult situation with this awakening. I'm simply pointing out what I know from my journey and what I've been learning through occultism and research and reading lots of books and many different things. I'm on this journey just as you are. Maybe I'm further. Maybe you're ahead of me. We don't know. But this is what I'm sharing with the world. This is what I'm sharing with my research. And this is what makes sense. It's common sense. Look at everything around you. Everything's made to feed the body, not the soul. So, my beautiful watchers and fans and supporters, I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope this video has supported your journey. If you're feeling lost in life, if you're searching for deeper answers, whether you're seeking clarity, looking to expand your studies, or ready for personalized mentoring, this is your chance to connect with me live and receive insights tailored just for you. Start your path to self mastery and enlightenment inside the world's best esoteric school. Your journey starts now. Tap the link in the description if you want to join Ethereal University, or feel free to check out my books. I thank you all, and I really appreciate for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I love every single one of you. Make sure to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know some ideas for lectures, anything that you want to know. I can make lectures on them. Just drop it in the comments. I appreciate every single one of you. Take care.